Hey everyone, I'm Rachel.
And I'm David.
Today we're leaving on our first ever Virgin Voyages cruise. Come with us and we'll show you what it's like.
Let's
Let's go!
go. Alright, everybody, we've been on the ship for 4 days now, and we really wanted to give you our honest opinions of what we thought so far.
Activities and entertainment. This was a big one for me because you should know we love trivia by now. I also love to go see the shows, and a cruise director staff, in my opinion, can kind of like make or break a cruise. They actually don't have a cruise director staff in the traditional sense. So they have the Happenings cast, which is a group of I think 15 people who all kind of specialize in a different thing, but they all also kind of dance and most of them sing, and they all host different activities all over the ship. So you have a lot more people kind of doing different activities, even though I don't honestly feel like there are as many activities as happen on other cruise lines. But they are all really fun, and I haven't encountered an activity that we didn't enjoy so far. So that's been really great. And even this morning, I went to 2 different workout activities, and they were both very differently themed, but they were both so much fun. So they each make all of their activities a lot more interesting because they all have different perspectives and different specialties. Instead of like your traditional cruise ship singers where they put on shows, they have an a cappella group and they are fabulous. Honestly, today I did 3 activities that are probably some of my favorite activities I've ever done on a cruise. So it's just been really cool. I will say, I kind of mentioned it before, it does feel like there's less activities on board. On other cruises we've been on, there's like 6 things going on at all times. And they have less than that, maybe 2 to 3 at the most. And especially on port days, they really don't have anything going on until really close to all aboard time, which is fine because there's lots of places to lounge about the ship and do other things, but there's a lot less activities just overall.
Yeah, I think they've really added things that let you interact with your group more. Like, I've seen a lot more people playing board games.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
big chess pieces. I've seen people playing that, or there's the smaller shuffleboard and the bigger shuffleboard. I just think they really did a good job of making sure you're interacting with your family and having fun, and there's stuff to do on that kind of a level, but there's not as much to do in terms of big group stuff. So
And food is a really hot topic for a lot of people on pretty much any cruise line. We'd heard some good things about Virgin's food, and it is a different format than every other cruise line we've tried. They don't have a main dining room, they just have different themed restaurants. They don't have a buffet, they have what they call the galley, which is like basically like a food court situation. And I will say, if you have watched any of our videos, you know I'm a little bit of a pickier eater, but I have been able to find things that I enjoyed every time I've gone to any of the restaurants. It's a little bit harder, honestly, like maybe there's only one main course on a whole menu that I would eat, but I have been able to find something and I've enjoyed pretty much every meal I've had, some obviously more than others, and especially in the galley, they have a lot of variety and options that some even change daily. And it's been nice because the food is open later. On a lot of the other cruise lines we've been on, maybe one thing's open past midnight. But here, there's like 3 or 4 things open past midnight. You have room service that's basically 24 hours a day. And you can get pizza till 2 a.m. And you have a diner that has breakfast 24/7. So there's a lot of options, and everything's been really fresh and really delicious.
the only pet peeve I kind of have with it is the portion size are small, but they don't really care if you like order 2 of something or 3 of something from the same location or anything like that. And I think it's really interesting that you can go up and just order and there's someone there to help you. Or you can put the plaque up on your table and one of the servers that are walking around will actually stop and help you. And it's always really fast.
Oh my gosh, they like come out of nowhere.
Yeah, they'll come out of nowhere and take your order for you. And every time that's been awesome. They're all super sweet and really nice. So they'll take your order for you and go and put it in for you. And you can just hang out at your table and they'll even go get you drinks if you ask. I just think that whole setup's really cool. And the food's been good. Like like you mentioned, it's actually really, really good food. You can make some customization options with it. A lot of it comes comes without stuff on it, and then it's up to you to add it. All the tables have their own ketchup and mustard. It's just a really good setup, in my opinion. It's not traditional buffet. Well, it's way better than most buffets. I'll say that. You might be hesitant at first because it's not a traditional cruise ship buffet, but I do think that they've sacrificed that experience and giving us something a lot better. So.
Yeah, and they do make it pretty easy to eat healthy as well. So they have a salad station that you can make your custom salads. And then every menu has some like vegan and gluten-free. That's one thing. They've actually been really attentive to allergies. We don't have any food allergies, but like every single time we're talking to a waiter or a waitress, they're always asking.
They're on it big time.
That's been really cool because, you know, a lot of times cruise ships, they're picking a lot of food out. And so they may not be very allergy friendly, but they're being very conscious here of that.
They are, and you mentioned the healthy thing. I think like the fruit has been incredible too. Like they put a standard, I feel like, on the fruit, and it's super good. And I also noticed in terms of the cleanliness of everything, it's been super clean. We saw them like actively testing for bacteria and stuff on some of the utensils that they were using behind the counters. And seeing that really like kind of opened my eyes, like, oh, they're actually like actively inspecting and making sure everything's up to code. Just really, really cool. So I just think they've done a really good job in terms of, you know, the cleanliness and the food qualities. The personal pizzas are nice, and they were willing to customize those for us. And one more thing about the food, I think it's like really, really cool that they have so many different places to get like desserts or like snacky type foods.
Yes.
Like I've mentioned it to you a bunch of times, but I just think that's really cool that you can just get like gummy bears at a counter in a bag and then just walk around and eat gummy bears throughout the day.
Yeah, or Rice Krispie treats.
Or Rice Krispie treats. And the cake pops are incredible. I actually like really, really love them. And I haven't really seen that before. Like, yeah, you can go to like the International Cafe on Princess, or, you know, the other cruise lines have their own kind of versions of that, and you can get like small bites kind of, but nothing that's like a snack. I don't know. I just really love that.
And one thing that was a big selling point for a lot of people about Virgin is it is a kid-free cruise line. So you have to be at least 18 years old to sail. And we've never had that before. So we wanted to kind of talk about our feelings of going into that. And one thing I will say is like I kind of forget that kids are a thing since we've been on here 4 days. Like I haven't seen a child in 4 days. It's kind of weird given that we live in Utah. Like we see kids a lot. But also just like I do feel like they built these ships with a sense of play and childlike wonder. So they built a seesaw on the top level for adults to use. They've built swings. Our terrace has a hammock on it. And they've built these venues with what David said about like shuffleboard and a huge chessboard. And there's just lots of different little pockets on the ship meant for play and games and things. Even though there's not kids on board, it is still very like playful. And even the activities are very playful. Kind of something that you can expect is to find something for everyone. And I've just really enjoyed the vibes of the ship as far as the kid-free experience, as well as just making me feel like a kid again.
Yeah, I came into it partially thinking, oh, is this going to be like highbrow, high society kind of feel to it? And I knew it couldn't quite be that because we had heard the rumors of it being very party ship-ish. And I think it's somewhere in between. I think it does feel very elegant on board. And then they do a really good job of making it a party and having fun. And kind of a good way to explain it is, I can never do it justice exactly, but I think what they might have done was taken like Disney cruise lines and thought, what if it was adults and we took away all the stuff adults hate about Disney Cruise Line and made that our cruise line? And so they have the really good food. They have like the really elegant hangout spaces. And then they also have like the fun board games and then the fun recreational things. And so they made like this really cool amalgamation of things that are Disney Cruise Line, but for adults. And I think that's really cool. But I think if kids really, really bother you on other cruise lines, this is a ridiculously good option. And if you still have that sense of wonder and want that fun factor without all the kids, this is the cruise line for you. So, all right. And the next thing we wanted to talk about was actually the Wi-Fi. I think the Wi-Fi speeds have been like surprisingly decent. I haven't had really any issues with the work and stuff. Everything has run smoothly. We've watched YouTube. I checked out Netflix and everything was running actually really good, surprisingly. And I did some speed tests and the speeds were actually about 3 to 4 times faster than we've had at best on other cruise lines. So I was really, really surprised with that. But one of the things to keep in mind with that is location makes a big difference. Cloud coverage makes a big difference, especially because all the cruise ships are using Starlink now. So we've had beautiful weather. So a lot of that plays a factor in the internet speeds itself. And I've just been really, really happy with it. So I do think it's a little messed up. Some of the things are actually blocked. I physically can't get around them. For one, I can't VPN into my work network and do some of my work stuff without the next level of internet package.
Yeah, so we actually bought premium Wi-Fi. So basic Wi-Fi is included, but that's really only good for like emails or messaging and things like that, maybe a little light browsing. But we bought premium Wi-Fi because we were working this cruise, and it was $50 a day, which is expensive to me. That's higher than most every other cruise line that we've cruised on. But I do feel like it's let us do everything we needed to do for work, except for maybe VPN in. So if you have that, make sure you keep that in mind. There is a newer Wi-Fi tier, which actually they added after we bought our premium Wi-Fi, that's called Work from Sea. And that is also, to my understanding, it's $55 a day. So that one does let you VPN in, and it's supposed to just be even faster. Overall, for me, if it was just me, I would say the one we have is fine.
Yeah.
Even though I do think it's a high cost for the amount of value we're getting, but it's worked fine for me.
All right, and one of the things I wanted to talk about is the mobile app. It runs really well, but it doesn't do any of the functions we really need it to do. And I think that causes a big problem for a cruise line that's trying to be high tech and hip and up to date. It's really disappointing because the website's so good. I really, really like the website, but you've actually used the app way more than I have. So I actually really want to know what you thought of it at the end of the day. Is it as big of an issue as I feel like it is, or?
We're on a 5-day cruise. I feel like if we were on anything more than that, I would be super overwhelmed trying to make sure we get to all the activities that we wanted to do and make sure that our dinner reservations are all in line, because there's not one concise display of everything I've bookmarked, all of my reservations, all of my shore excursions. There's not anywhere where all of that information is listed all together. And that is pretty stressful. Since it's 5 nights, it's okay. But I can't even imagine having us plus like our additional family that we sometimes cruise with together and trying to coordinate all of that. And there are parts of it that are good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not all bad, but the lack of a consolidated itinerary is awful. And then they have like sparks of good things, like the room service ordering process.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
It's easy.
Yeah.
The crew chat is easy. Booking shore excursions is easy. Booking dinner reservations is easy. And I love that they have all of the menus for the restaurants on the app as well. That's a huge game changer that every cruise line needs to take advantage of. But all of the activities, they just need to do better about figuring out how to display that in a better way.
It's just really, really unfortunate. They're super close, and I think they'll fix it, obviously. But as it sits right now, we're trying to give you guys an honest review of what we think of things. And that one stood out to me because we're constantly in there and we're like both scrolling looking for the stupid thing we're trying to do next. And that really, really takes away from the excitement of going to the thing, because we're trying to figure out when exactly something was.
And where it is, and if it's happening another time, because if it happens multiple times, you have to click on the activity and it might show you multiple show times. So yeah, it's not great. I think they'll fix it though.
I think so.
I know one thing that's a deterrent for me is the cost versus what you get. For us, usually we're going on a lot of cruises in a year, and so we want to try to maximize the budgeting. And Virgin is a little bit more expensive than we would traditionally spend. And plus, right now, they only have ports in the East Coast, and we are not very close to the East Coast, so flights are more expensive. They are fixing that next year, but we kind of had to weigh that with this cruise. And honestly, for us though, having everything included, and we don't drink alcohol, so we're not charging up a bar tab, it made it feel kind of like an all-inclusive resort.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
This is about the same price as you would pay at an all-inclusive resort. So it's actually been pretty nice. I do think you get a lot of value for the cost, especially if you are a foodie. You can get, food to your heart's content, lots and lots of different types. And everything on board has been really fun, and the activities are all good. The staff's really great. The service has been amazing. So I do think you get a lot of value. It's just, this is not going to be your most budget-friendly cruise or cruise line, but you just have to look at what's included and see if it's worth it for you.
Yeah, I really think that this is an amazing option. If you're saving up to do like one big vacation and you are used to the all-inclusive environment, I think getting your money's worth is very, very subjective. I'm on the fence about it. I do think that the quality within the whole experience has been incredible. Yeah. I just genuinely love cruising. So for me, any cruise is a good cruise and is worth going on. But if this is going to be like your one vacation for the year, I really think you're making a pretty good decision.
Yeah, for sure. They do offer a bar tab. So if you are an alcohol drinker, or even if you want unlimited specialty coffees, you can charge a certain amount, whether it's $100, $200, $300 to your room ahead of time. And they actually give you bonus cash. So they'll give you like 25 extra bucks if you do it ahead of time. And so if you don't want to have to worry about what you're spending on board and you want to kind of budget that, you can do that. But otherwise, having everything included, being able to go to any restaurant on any day is really, really nice. And
I love that.
A lot of the other cruise lines are like doing these packages that do make it more complex. They're like, well, okay, my base fare might only be $200 a person, but then I have a $300 for the whole cruise package that's like doubling what I'm paying and includes all of these other things, but then this other thing's still not included. So it's really more complicated, and Virgin does kind of condense it all and makes it really easy to understand and really easy to plan for. So David, I'm really curious. We haven't really talked about how we feel about this cruise in general. So what is your final opinion about your first Virgin cruise?
So I came into this really, really worried that I wasn't going to fit in.
Me too.
I'm very much reserved and just kind of hang out and stuff.
Well, we don't drink and we don't party.
We don't drink, we don't party, I don't go to dance clubs or anything like that. So I'm very much a square in that sense. So I was really, really worried, but I was excited to get on a cruise. It's one we haven't been on before. We've seen this ship from the ports before, and I think it's gorgeous. I love the way this ship is designed. I think it just looks so sleek and so cool. And coming on board and starting to do stuff, I don't feel out of place. And I just really felt like I did fit in, and I felt the warmth when we're talking to people on the elevators, and everybody's just having a good time and chilling. And you know, when you have a ship full of people that are so full of love and everything, you know, I just had an incredible time. I would totally cruise Virgin again, but there's some stipulations to that. I want to go to new places. I want very, very scenic cruises because of the hammock. They've just nailed it out of the park, and I do think it's a wonderful cruise line. So
yeah, and I agree. Like, I would definitely sail Virgin again. I do think it really is dependent on the itinerary. It's also, for me, dependent on the price, because when you look at some of the prices for the ones coming up next year where they are going to more scenic locations, I mean, it's like 2 to 3 times the price of what you could get on some other cruise lines. And so you really do have to take that into account. I really have to take that into account if we want to do a bunch of cruises in a year, because we, you know, are making travel content for you guys. I don't know that I'm going to cruise Virgin more than once or twice, you know, every other year, just because of the price point. But when we do, it's amazing. Like, this ship is beautiful. It's well kept. All the spaces have their own different feel and identity. And they have so many great staff members that are just very accommodating and very kind, and are genuinely asking you how you are and smiling at you. And all the people on board have been really fun. Everybody's kind of looking out for each other, like, oh, do you want me to take that picture for you? Or, you know, oh, your bra strap's showing, or like
you're going the wrong direction. You wanted to go that way.
Yeah, like, so everybody's kind of looking out for each other. It's got a very like family vibe, and I just really enjoyed it. You know, I've enjoyed the activities. Like, these have honestly been some of the best activities that I have ever done on a cruise ship. And I really look forward to being able to go on another Virgin cruise, hopefully sometime in the future when they have some itineraries that we're passionate about.
Yeah, and you mentioned the pricing, and, you know, people at home are like, yeah, it's expensive, but you get XYZ included. We're factoring that into this when we're talking about the prices. We do crunch our numbers, and I do think that even with all that factored in, I do still think Virgin is significantly more expensive than what we're used to.
But I do think you get different value for that.
Yeah, the value's in a different location, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew we're not just saying, oh, it's expensive, and we're not factoring in the things that you get with that price. I do think it's just a little bit on the pricier side for what you're getting, but it's still an incredible cruise. It's an amazing time. Like, I've loved it. I really want to check out the other ships. I would love the opportunity to see the new ship. You feel the love on board, and it really is there. And I just can't emphasize enough that, like, the people are going to make your cruise. They can make or break your cruise. And I've just still had an incredible time. So I love Virgin. I am so glad we got the opportunity to try it. I will definitely be back. And
we've already recommended it to other people. So there we go. We literally texted some friends, and they're like, you guys need to come on a Virgin cruise because you would love it. And if they're looking for good food, and they're looking for chill vibes and lots of lounging space and basically places to spend quality time together, Virgin is a really good option.
Honestly, it's great. And the rooms are so big that you can have a good number of people in a single room.
So yeah, definitely know your itineraries, know what you're looking for in a cruise. But for us, I think we will definitely find ourselves on Virgin again.
Yeah, and if you know what cruises are, like what you know what you're getting into, you're gonna have a great time. You know what your expectations are, and I think Virgin meets or exceeds those expectations in almost every category. So.
But what do you think? Do you have any questions that we might not have answered, or things you want our opinion on? Or if you have sailed on Virgin, what did we miss? What did we not talk about in this video? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, I'm sure we missed something, so
Yeah,
please let us know.
sure. And if you enjoy this video and want to see more content from us, please like the video and subscribe to our channel. But for now, I'm Rachel.
And I'm David.
And we hope this video helps you find the right direction for your next adventure.
Bye.
Bye.